Imagine looking up, and the sun refuses to move. The moon freezes in place. Daylight stretches endlessly, as if time itself has stopped. What would you do if heaven paused its rhythm just to answer one man's prayer? This is the story of Joshua, the man who prayed, and the sun stood still. Israel was in the land of Canaan. Joshua, the fearless warrior chosen after Moses, was leading God's people to conquer the Promised Land. But word of their victory spread like wildfire. Kings trembled. Enemies formed alliances, swearing to crush Israel before they could rise any higher. 5 kings of the Amorites joined forces, 5 armies marching as one. Their target? Gibeon, a city that had made peace with Joshua. The Gibeonites sent an urgent plea. "Do not abandon us! Come quickly! Save us!" Joshua faced a choice: ignore them or rise against overwhelming odds. He didn't hesitate. He marched through the night, not for land, not for gold, but because God had promised, "Do not be afraid, I have given them into your hand." And so the stage was set for one of history's most impossible battles. At dawn, the armies clashed. Swords rang out, shields shattered, dust filled the air as thousands fought for survival. But something was strange. Israel advanced with unstoppable force. The Amorite kings, once so confident, began to crumble. They fled in panic. Then it began. A storm unlike any seen before. The sky thundered. Hailstones, massive as rocks, rained from heaven. Not one struck Israel, but their enemies, they fell in heaps. The Bible records that more died from the hail than from the sword. It was clear heaven itself was fighting for Joshua. But time was slipping away. The sun dipped lower. Shadows stretched long, and Joshua knew if darkness fell, the enemy would escape. The victory would be incomplete. His men were exhausted, their enemies scattered, and night was closing in. Joshua stood still. He looked to the heavens, and in front of thousands of warriors, he prayed a prayer that defied reason. Not quietly, not in whispers, but aloud before Israel and before God. "Sun, stand still over Gibeon. Moon, stop over the valley of Aijalon." The battlefield froze. Every ear turned, every eye lifted to the sky. Would heaven listen? Then it happened. The sun stopped. The moon froze. Time itself bent to the voice of a man. Daylight lingered, an hour stretched into 2, 2 into 3, until the longest day in history gave Israel the victory they needed. The Bible says there has never been a day like it before or since, a day when the Lord listened to a man. Can you feel it? The awe, the terror, the impossible becoming reality before their very eyes? The 5 kings fled, but they could not hide. Joshua found them, captured them, and brought them before the people. The enemies who had once mocked Israel now lay in defeat. And the story was written for all generations, that no army, no alliance, no darkness can stop a people whose God commands the sun and moon. The longest day became the greatest victory. This story is not just ancient history, it's a mirror. Because we all face moments when time feels against us, when the battle is too big, when the enemy looks too strong. And in those moments, God whispers what he once said to Joshua, "Do not be afraid, I am with you." Joshua's prayer was bold, audacious. Impossible by human logic, yet heaven listened. What about you? What battles are you fighting? What impossible prayer do you need to speak aloud? The God who made the sun stand still is the same God who hears your voice today. So, I ask you, if the sun could stop for Joshua, what miracle might God do in your life if you dared to pray boldly? Would you trust Him enough to ask? If this story moved you, don't let it end here. Subscribe now to journey deeper into the hidden stories of the Bible, stories of courage, hope, and miracles that still speak today. And tell me in the comments, what's the biggest prayer you've ever asked God for? Because maybe, just maybe, your story is the next miracle waiting to be told.